Well. Look at what we have here. It's another episode of the Outlaw of College Football. I took off for about 4 or 5 days because I've been trying to get another channel up and going, my political channel that some of you already heard of and subscribed to. It's called Real American Party. Y'all check that out if you want to talk some politics. I'm trying to separate the two because people have been complaining about it. But smash that like button when you come in here. All you got to do is jump out of the chat real quick, hit the like button, and jump back in and push this algorithm for me. But just wanted to come here today and talk about old KK, old Mary Caleb Williams fingernails. Done put himself out there again. Done outed himself.
It's just a man watching a basketball game, of course. Caleb Williams, man, hits headlines again. I actually saw this video on Twitter today. And at first, I didn't notice anything. I didn't notice a pink phone. I didn't notice any nail polish. I didn't notice any lipstick or maybe a shiny chapstick. I don't know. Is this weird? Yeah, absolutely, because I've never seen a quarterback do this. Recently, he wore a dress. Not sure what that was all about. But I'm excited to see what he does in the draft. But yeah, this caught me off guard for sure. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. As always, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, this is interesting.
But basically, he's seen waving and bobbing his head back and forth with a pink phone in his hand and some lipstick on his face. Now, I don't have a problem with the guy if he wants to be queer. All right? If he wants to be gay, queer, that's fine. That's his thing. But let's be honest here. And the guy that done this video, he sort of was, trying to keep it politically correct and saying that he didn't have an issue with that. But the guys on, I think it was the Crane show or something like that, they were talking about they didn't think that this guy was NFL material. Not just because he might be gay, but because of how he composes himself and how he carries himself in his gayness. It's one thing if you're gay. It's another thing if you're just like emotionally unstable and then you won't admit to it. He needs to just come out of the closet and just go ahead and admit that he's gay and get it over with like Michael Sams did. Hell, maybe he can be the first successful queer quarterback in the NFL. I don't know. But just being honest here, a lot of these people will try to tiptoe around it, and I have problems with tiptoeing. So let me dig that off there. I have problems with tiptoeing around stuff sometimes. So I'm just going to be bluntly honest here. And if it gets taken down, it gets taken down. It's not okay to be gay in the NFL, in my opinion, because that's your sexual preference, and you're in a sport where your sexual preference is right there in front of you, and you grabbing and touching on them. And that'd be just like a man going into, and they do it already with transgenders. I'm waiting for a transgender to try to go into the NBA or into the LFL, which is the lingerie football league. That'd be like a man going out and playing lingerie football with the women of the LFL and grabbing on them and shit. That'd be like a man being in the women's tennis locker room. We're already seeing stuff like that already with the transgenders. And here's another fine example of Caleb Williams. I mean, it'd be like a woman having to go into the men's locker room at a soccer game and undressing in front of a bunch of men if you put the shoe on the other foot. And it's just not going to work out for him, man, I'm afraid. Because while people have a right to be whatever they want to be in this life, other people also have a right not to like it. And to be honest and to just be bluntly honest with everybody, a lot of the NFL players don't like. They are. Let's be honest. Most NFL players, and to microcosm it down, a lot of black athletes don't really like gay stuff. They make fun of it. They ostracize him. So if he thinks he's having issues now in college with breaking down mentally, when he gets in the NFL and it comes out that he's gay, they gonna give him hell about that shit. You know, Michael Sam's didn't last very long either. Just want to get y'all's thoughts on that. I mean, I know that we're not supposed to make fun of somebody for being gay, but they're going to make fun of him. I hate to tell him that. I hate to break it and burst his bubble, but there's a lot of players in the NFL that won't come out and say it, but they're not enlightened like that. They're just not. Basically, Caleb Williams just waving his hand back and forth, and he had a little pink phone in his hand and some lipstick on his face, and it's just I really hate to tell Caleb and his daddy. I really think that he's gonna bomb out in the NFL. I could be wrong. He could be the first successful gay quarterback. If he'll come out of the closet and admit that shit, but I don't know if he's gonna do that. But I fully expect Caleb to be another Vince Young. Now, yes, Caleb is a better passer than Vince Young was, but he's got the same mentality that Vince Young does, maybe even worse than Vince Young. And earlier today, Johnny Fairlane, he was just on, me and him were having a conversation off air. He sent me a clip of Vince Young at the bar where he got knocked the hell out by some little white boy. So Vince is getting knocked out in the NFL. Now he's getting knocked out in real life in the bar. So there you go. We got Sooner Legends Podcast in the house. Sooner Legends Podcast is now over 200 subscribers. Story Time with Sooner Legends Podcast, a.k.a. Mike Wilkerson, is a great show. Go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Trying to get that man to 500 subscribers so he can get monetized. And like I said earlier, I also have a political channel now that I started a couple of days ago. It's called Real American Party, and that's why you haven't seen me on this channel as much. I've been trying to get that up and going, and now I've got the legs going underneath it, put out 3 videos already. Now I can get back to doing what I'm a little bit smarter at doing. I'm probably going to get in trouble on that channel. I don't know if I'm going to last very long over there. Yeah, he got clocked. He got knocked the hell out by some little white boy. Fred Bagley says he could be as bad as Ryan Leaf. Well, he may just be that. Y'all want to see that picture again? Just for one last time, just one good measure, so y'all can get a nice little visualization of this, because I know Jeff likes it. Right, Jeff? There it is. OKK. Unfortunately, you can't see the clip moving and whatnot, because if you could, it's pretty epic. It's pretty funny. I sent it to some people on here in chat, and it's actually pretty damn funny. I'm probably going to have to clip some of that out because I had some technical difficulties at the beginning. I'm going to put this up as a podcast later, so check that out when you get a chance and share it to your friends. I need people to start sharing me out again. Subscriptions have been slow. It is the off season, but I've been losing subscribers here and there too. I think some of them left because they thought I was just going to start a political channel. But I'm not just starting a political channel. This is going to still be my main channel, but I'm just going to do that for shits and giggles. John Ritchie says, I think Caleb is the most overhyped prospect ever. Appreciate that, Ian Hintz. He says my show's the #1 show. RJ Young may not like you taking his thing, man. You know, RJ Young, who sold out the Oklahoma Sooners a while back, he claims that he's the #1 show on not ESPN, Fox. It's called the #1 show. Real original. He should have just kept the name that he had. But when you bow down to the major media corporate like that, and I ain't going to say I would never do that, but it would be a hard pill for me to swallow. I'd probably end up getting fired within a day or two, like that conservative newscaster got fired at NBC. She was there one day, and that butch-haired skittle shitting announcer they got on there, I forgot her name. She's got real short hair. She had something to do with running that girl off, and I can't remember her name now. If y'all can drop her name in the comment section, that'd help me out. Fred Backlund said, it's funny, all right. He really seems like he's having a gay old time. It's a great clip. It is. He's gay. He's happy. He's happy. He's gay. I really like the touch right there. My son made this for me. He's got some lips and some lipstick and even some fingernails there. Even some fingernails for paint, bro. Married Caleb Williams fingernails. I bet Oklahoma fans are actually thinking to themselves right now, damn, I'm sure glad we missed out on that part of Caleb Williams. Because he lost his damn noodle once he went to Los Angeles, man. Once you go out there, man, there's something about Los Angeles. Now, there's parts of California that are decent, from what I've heard. I've never been to California, but I have had a few friends that were in the military, and they said there's a few spots in Northern California, and San Diego ain't too bad either. But Los Angeles, man, it does something to people, man. It changes them. Rachel Meadow, or Ronna. Yeah, it was Ronna. It was Ronna Meadows that got fired after 1 or 2 days at the NBC because she's not allowed to express her opinion. I talked about this in my political podcast. You know, they want to express their opinion and come out and say, hey, transgender is a real thing. And I want to say, no, it's not. It's not real. It's a made-up word. Y'all just make up words and make them sound scary and put phobic on them so y'all can shout people down and scare them into not actually giving their opinion on something. And they're not really those words that you call them. But a lot of people are just too scared to stand up to it because y'all run them down and try to get them fired or whatever because y'all are cowards. Y'all don't want anybody to have an opinion other than your own. And then you want to preach free speech, but it's really not free speech. It's only free speech as long as it's the speech that they like. Johnny Fairlane says he ain't been back in 33 years. I'm tired. You must be talking about Los Angeles, I'm assuming. John Ritchie says she wasn't there one day. She was fired and never even worked there. She didn't even know she was fired until everyone else found out. There you go. That's the kind of shit that really fires me up, man. These, I don't know what you call them, man. I don't know if you can call them liberals, Democrats. I don't think it's just Democrats. I think the Democrats, there's still some good Democrats out there. I used to be a registered Democrat, so I know. But they got their party hijacked by the liberals, and now you see what you got. I don't even know if you can call them liberals. They're just extreme leftist people that want to make all this perversion legal. That way they can, get away with it. A lot of them are pedophiles too. They want that to be legal. Just like the whole P. Diddy thing that I did. I did a podcast on P. Diddy too and his situation where I basically said that he was taken down by the FBI so they could do away with a lot of evidence and just pin everything on him and protect those higher up in political circles and high top CEO types that are perverted as hell and cowards that like to prey on people and rape people and take advantage of common people out there just because they're rich. Tom Hanks is the next one on the list, huh? Well, what do you know? So what's been going on in Oklahoma circles out there for you guys? Let's see what we got going on here. We're going to bring up some Oklahoma news because we got some Oklahoma people in here. Oklahoma people always bring it strong in here. Just been trying to get me to talk more about Alabama, but I do talk about Alabama and I talk about other colleges. It's just that, if a certain university or fan base is showing their support, then I'm going to show support back to them as well. There it is. It says Oklahoma star Danny Stutzman is listed the top ferocious linebacker. Oklahoma Sooners are building for what will be a defining 2024 college football season and their first season in the SEC. The Sooners will have to adapt to the conference's play style while proving their ability to compete in the toughest league in college football. So Danny Stutzman's already been held probably for a lot of those trophies out there, the Butkus Award and stuff like that. It says Adrian Peterson's younger brother is making a name for himself as a high school quarterback. Adrian Peterson's football career may be over, but Peterson's name continues to roll strong in the football world. Nelson Peter Jr., who is Adrian's brother, is making a name for himself as a high school quarterback recruit. So, that's something that y'all can look forward to maybe. Y'all get another Peterson in the mix. Hopefully his brother is not, and this is probably going to piss y'all off, hopefully he's not adapted, beating the shit out of his child with a switch and bringing blood and getting himself in trouble for that. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, when I was growing up, I got my ass whooped by my parents too. But there's a difference in spanking a kid and then just beating them. You can spank a kid without bringing blood. So I just think it was a little overkill on Adrian Peterson's part. But it says here that his brother is listed at 6'2", 185 pounds. He was recently invited to the Elite 11 regional camp in Austin, Texas, and also shined at the UA camp in Dallas. So, that sounds like good news for Oklahoma, maybe. And have another Peterson in the backfield, but just at the quarterback position. What do y'all think about that? It says Diddy messed around with the senator's son. You know, Cat Williams said that Diddy tried to make a move on him. Cat Williams actually called this out about a month or two ago on the Shannon Sharp show. I know it's called something else, called Sports with Nerds or some other stupid shit. But it was on Shannon Sharp show where he said that all these deviants are going to get called out, Turd Ferguson. And Cat Williams was spot on. John Ritchie says that the Oklahoma Sooners are expecting a quarterback commitment on Friday. Johnny Fairlane says he would be happy with 8-4 or 9-3 for the Oklahoma Sooners in their, I'm assuming you're talking about Oklahoma, in their inaugural year. And I can't talk about it, man. It's like I'm drunk. I ain't even been drinking. Johnny Fairlane said God gave AD an extra helping of athletic ability, but not so much brains. That's true. I agree with that. All right, well, who's the running back commitment? Do you have a name for us, John Ritchie? You got a scoop for us for the Oklahoma Sooner fans in here? The running back commit? So what do y'all think? Honestly. All hate aside, because we all, let's admit it, we all dislike and hate Caleb just a little bit. But all that aside, honestly speaking, where do y'all see Caleb Williams in 5 years? Will he still be in the NFL? Or will he be another Ryan Leaf, Vince Young, somewhere in between maybe? Maybe a middling quarterback that does stay around for a little while but just never is a star? Or is he going to be the first official successful gay player in the NFL? Because he's obviously gay. He's just not coming out of the closet with it, which is fine with me. Because I've always said the Michael Sam's thing where he was coming out of the closet and kissing his partner on the face with some kind of birthday cake or some shit. Shit was gross, man. Even if it was a man or woman, nobody wants to see that shit. We're trying to watch the NFL draft, man. Nobody wants to get a visualization of your sex life. That's why I never understood people coming out of the closet in a sports arena. Why don't you just tell that to the people around you? I mean, you don't see me going out of my way to tell everybody I'm straight. You don't see Aaron Rodgers getting on the stage and saying, hey, I just want to let y'all know, by the way, I like vagina. Because it's irrelevant. And the only reason Michael Sam's and other people like him bring it up is they think it's going to give them some kind of leg up on everybody else. They're going like, well, if I tell them I'm gay, well, then they'll give me special treatment. And they won't cut me as quick because they'll be afraid that we'll call them bigots. Now, Michael, you got your ass cut Not because you was gay, but because you sucked. And that's probably literally and figuratively. Johnny Fairlane says, we're proud to see DeMarco Murray stay with OU. Fred Bagley has his badge. He's deputized. He says, I say he washes out. How long he lasts will depend on how bad the league wants NFL crooked. Yeah. Well, the Crane Show was saying that he'll probably work out now because the NFL is all inclined to go with all this craziness, all this perverted shit now. Johnny Fairlane says he runs like he has high testosterone, not estrogen. I just wanted to jump in here real quick and get y'all's thoughts on that. On Caleb Williams, once again, outing himself and embarrassing the USC Skittle Shitters. How long y'all think he's going to last in the NFL, acting a fool like this all the time? I don't think it's going to be very long. I say maybe 3 or 4 years, tops. Maybe he gets a 5th year, hangs on as a backup quarterback somewhere. I don't know, man. It just seems a little mentally unhinged for me to make it in the NFL. It has nothing to do with his queerness or anything like that. He's just mentally, something ain't right, man. All his bread's not done, man. Something ain't right. Benjamin Cisco says Mary Williams is a mid 1 to 2 round pick and he's going to be the next Johnny Manziel. Actually, Benjamin, they're saying that Chicago's going to draft him number 1. I hope you're right. It would be funny. I would actually want to watch the NFL draft just to see Caleb's face if he drops out of the top 5. Can you imagine the emotional meltdown that fruit is going to have right there in his mama's lap? Because mama's going to be there to hold his hand on this shit. And I don't watch the NFL draft. I don't even watch the NFL anymore. I haven't really watched NFL football in about 3 or 4 years. But I'll watch it. I'm going to watch this one. And if he gets picked in the first 5, I'm going to turn it off. Because I just want to see him melt down. Johnny Fairlane says his cheese slid off his cracker. Now, you'll see people in here with their badges like Fred Bagley and Jeff Payton. If you want to get your badge and get deputized and be in the Outlaw Posse and get a random 4-horseman shout out on the actual podcast, as well as possibly the comment of the day, all you got to do is hit that join button that's next to the subscribe button. They're 2 different things. And it's just $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. It's just a half a bottle of water. And as I said, you'll be deputized. You'll get your badge, random 4-horseman shout out, as well as possibly the comment of the day. Fred Bagley says if he lasts 5 years, it would be a shocker. Yeah. I could see him pulling a Cam Newton type deal. Now, Cam Newton's a little bit of a weird guy, too, but he's not in the NFL no more. How many years did Cam Newton stay in the NFL? No, he's a backup, and an Alabama quarterback by the name of Mac Jones took his shit. Alabama guy put him on the bench. Yeah, I'm probably just going to make this a short one today, Ian Hintz. But if y'all got any ideas for podcasts in the future, just hit me up on my Twitter account, a.k.a. X. If you want to hit me up on Twitter and DMs under OCF Productions, at OCF Productions on Twitter. Hit me up on there. It can also be found on Facebook under Jesse Paul Clark, spelled Jesse without the I. You can hit me up on there on Messenger, and we also have a chat that about 10 or 20 of us are in, a multi-chat on Facebook that's just for us members of this live stream. I can put you in that as well. Did I ever see Cam Newton in drag? Yeah, I seen him dressing up sort of weird and sort of Dennis Rodman-like a few times, David. So, yeah, I've seen him dressed in drag before. And I can tell you this, Caleb Williams, he seems like he has those inklings and those little red flags going off that he's probably going to be sort of like Cam Newton, maybe even as bad as Dennis Rodman. He could be the next Dennis Rodman of the NFL. Benjamin Sisko says that Caleb Williams will be going to the Nagasaki egg rolls. Well, Killer Breeze likes the Nagasaki egg roll thing, and he's been actually getting a little aggravated about that because he says he don't he doesn't think that the Nagasaki egg rolls should stain themselves with such a dastardly, perverted weirdo such as Mary Caleb Williams' fingernails. Fred Bagley says he could see him being the next Dennis Rodman, but it won't be near as good. You're right. Dennis Rodman was actually a pretty damn good player as far as rebounding goes. You couldn't keep that man off the boards. Jeff Payton said there was Cam Newton was in the NFL for 11 seasons. Well, I guess I just remember that one decent season he had where they went to the Super Bowl in Denver and he had the meltdown after everybody called him out because everybody's seen on the national stage when he fumbled that ball. He had a chance to get that ball, and he saw them defenders come, and he did like this. He was reaching for it, and he jumped back. Remember that? He jumped back, man. He wasn't going to sacrifice himself for that ball, man. And that's when everybody lost respect for him, and they called his ass out. And that's when he started losing his noodle. And that's when he started going downhill, is when he was outed as just a general coward. Kane Reed's in the house. Caleb Williams sucks, and he'll never be anything but trash. Oklahoma never needed him. We got the best thing, and that's Jackson Arnold. Yeah, I like old Jackson Arnold. He had a few turnovers in that game against Arizona, but what can you expect from a guy starting his first game in a bowl game? And he's a true freshman. So cut him a little bit of slack, y'all. Jackson, I think Jackson's going to be all right. Well, all right, guys and gals, this is going to be a short one, and I just wanted to come in here and share that with y'all so we could grill Caleb Williams' ass one more last time. You know, they say, hey, why don't you leave the Skittle Shitters alone? Why don't you leave Caleb Williams alone? Why do you keep giving him hell? I'd stop talking about it. But they put themselves out there, and they just want positive attention. They don't want none of the negative criticisms. They just want all the positives. Just not the way it works, Mary Caleb Williams. Not in real life. And when your ass gets in the NFL, you're going to find out. You're going to go Vince Young, I do believe. That's my prediction.